Interesting little catch on a new line in Zoom's terms of service. Trust me, this is interesting. I know it sounds like a very boring setup, but put this up on the screen. So they are now saying in their terms of service that you have to allow AI to train on all your data, audio, facial recognition, private conversations, unconditionally and irrevocably with no opt-out. Let me just read you the specific lines here, so keep this up on the screen. They say, quote, "You consent to Zoom's access, use, collection, creation, modification, distribution, processing, sharing, maintenance, and storage of service-generated data." So that means when you're on Zoom and you're like doing your thing, they're collecting all of that for any purpose to the extent and in the manner permitted under applicable law, and it's to be used for machine learning or artificial intelligence, including for the purposes of training and tuning of algorithms and models. This is something that I've been focused on a lot. I mean, this is a whole new world because the way that these new AI large language models work is they scoop up, the technical term is scrape, all of this data that they feed into these models to train them on human language and information and research and creativity, all of this stuff. And so there's a lot of questions about, well, are you just allowed to take whatever you want? Sarah Silverman and other comedians and writers are pushing back. They're actually suing these big tech companies to regain, to get compensated at the very least, or set some sort of legal boundaries around what these companies are allowed to scoop up. But Zoom clearly working, here in connection, saying, listen, we are going to use anything that you do on our platform, we are allowed to use in whatever way we want.
Yeah, this is totally crazy. I'm definitely going to uninstall Zoom, or at least try to use it as little as possible. You just never know, though. It's like, is Apple going to do this? Who's actually taking your data? This is just, thankfully, this guy was able to catch it in the terms of service, but that's it. I mean, and this is part of the creepy thing. You're always being recorded now. You're always like, I was with some friends, we're staying at an Airbnb, and we were out on the porch, and one of them was saying something about his job. He works in a sensitive job. And I was like, hey man, you shouldn't say that here. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, look, these Airbnbs, these things are all wired with Ring cameras.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I look up, there's like one sitting right there.
Wow.
And it's like, you have to be kind of used to this world where there's like a privatized surveillance regime literally everywhere. And then in the world of AI, they are using that. Even if the person who owns the camera is not using it, it lives on the Ring server. What is Amazon going to do with that? Maybe they'll feed it into their algorithms to detect stuff. I mean, we're already at a point where they're talking about facial recognition and all that stuff for crime. We know that this happened during the January 6th investigation. For example, you can read in the indictments, they literally sent images, the FBI did, to the facial recognition team and were able to ID people off of that. That's the government. I mean, they have all of our, from licenses, from passport photos, all kinds of information that they're ready to tap with zero warrant or any of that. And that's, in terms of how the government is, and who's stopping them from contracting some of these firms and all these other to get more. So it's a creepy situation.
Extremely. It also shows you how almost inherently exploitative these terms of service contracts are.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, you download Zoom. They say like, check the box that you agree. Who is really reading through
Nobody.
the 30 pages or whatever of fine print of what exactly you're signing up for? And what choice do you have? If you're, going to be a Breaking Points guest and we're like, here's your Zoom link, are you really going to be like, oh, I can't do this segment now because I don't agree with, paragraph 32, subsection B, part 7 of the terms of service? No one is doing that. So basically, they set the rules, and you have no choice if you're going to live in modern society but to agree to them. And sometimes those rules are really dystopian and disturbing, as in this case.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, raising awareness. We'll keep you guys updated, and we'll see you later.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.